If only the world was as harmonious as Brahms' lullaby. We live in an age of uncertain times, characterized by experiences few of us have the knowledge or the experience to deal with. For the first time in history, man and machine have to become increasingly intimate. So tell me, what do you imagine when I say the accidental automation of being a mama? Do you imagine a robot rocking a baby to sleep? Or maybe Mary Poppins, she's an android, and she's flying through the window. Or maybe it's Siri, teaching a child right from wrong. My wonder-filled little girl is 2 now, and our bond is indescribably strengthened when she falls asleep in my arms. Every muscle in her small body surrendering to my protection. I wouldn't forego that to a machine. Neither would I trust a machine to teach her right from wrong. Artificial intelligence and chatbots like Siri, they have never lived through the human condition. They have made-up personalities. They've never lived through the emotional ups and downs. They have never felt the angst of conflict or been puzzled by morality. So how could they possibly know right from wrong? So no, I would never trust a machine to teach her right from wrong. You know, I want to teach her right from wrong. In fact, I want to go one step further. I want to teach her how to make judgment calls. I don't want to categorically tell her what is right and what is wrong. And that's because I believe self-determination is the greatest, most powerful gift we can give our children. So therefore, the logic flows. I would surely never give up the responsibility of being a mama to a machine. But you know what? Unwittingly, I'm doing just that. Every day, algorithms manipulate our choices. Netflix coaches us into what to watch next. Spotify is actually deciding what the soundtrack of my baby's childhood is going to be. You know, film and music, they form the fundamentals of an arts education. And the arts is basically an expression of our society. Children use the arts to understand and make sense of the world. So now I have my little girl framing her morality around the arts that algorithms has served to her. As man and machine become more intimate, we can't help but let algorithms into our life. October 3rd, 2017. Seriously, the scariest day of my life. For the first time ever, we brought her home from hospital. We had to tuck her up into what felt like the most expansive cot in the world. My hormones were everywhere. I was breaking out into sweats. Was I doing the right thing? I was checking on her literally every 10 minutes. I needed the certainty that she was okay. All the books and articles and blogs I had read, all the classes we had gone to, could never prepare me for this feeling of utter incompetence. I needed to know I was doing the right thing. I needed that certainty. So frankly, screw the books. I grabbed my phone to find out what other parents do when they first bring their kid around. When they first bring their kid home. And there you go. An algorithm entered her life. You know, so much about parenting is about certainty. She's too precious to take a risk on, isn't she? Especially when it comes to decisions between a happy or a sad baby, a sick or a healthy baby, a safe or a vulnerable baby. I can't afford to be uncertain. Fast forward to 4 months later, when I had decided I had to wean her, because frankly, my nipples were red raw. She was up at all hours of the night because I wasn't producing enough milk for her, so she was hungry. You know, when I was pregnant and I knew it all, I had expected to wean her at 6 months because that's what they said you should do. Is 4 months too early? Am I going to endanger her? I don't have all the answers. Not one of us have all the answers. So I decided to tap into the collective wisdom through Google and check Facebook to see the social norms. You know what? Their algorithms served me up this certainty in glorious detail. 12 million options on how to wean your baby at 4 months. I mean, seriously, I'd hit the gold mine. And the best bit was Google served me the top 10 options on a page within milliseconds for free. Facebook adorned my feed with pictures of happy, healthy babies, of my little girl's age, smashing pumpkin into their face and drinking formula. So then I knew, I was doing the right thing. I was certain of it. But you know, before this source of certainty, I would have read a lot more books. I would have consulted a doctor. I would have seen a lactation nurse. But the web filled me with the confidence that I was doing the right thing. What happens when you see stuff from the web on Google? An algorithm, Google's algorithm actually, searches 1.5 billion websites to find the most relevant things for your search queries. Now, this algorithm has been developed by a company that sells advertising to make money. Let me stop being a mama for a moment and be the digital educator that I have been trained to be. I put it to you that these companies are more interested in making money than optimizing my certainty. Let's look at it. What is advertising? Advertising is basically a way of manipulating your behavior to do the advertiser's bidding. These algorithms are set to serve this advertising. And you know what? The more people's behavior these algorithms change, the more the company gets. So then you've got to wonder, whose certainty are they optimizing for, mine or the company's? This irony hasn't passed me by. The very algorithms I go to when I need to make a choice are actually built to manipulate my choices. Let me give you another example. I'm going to forward now about a year. And I was looking for an app to put on my phone so my little girl could play with my phone. And I came across Talking Ben. He had 4 out of 5. In fact, 4.4 stars out of 5. So I thought, this is great, and it's a little dog. And he repeats everything she says in a funny little voice, so it's going to increase her communication skills, right? And then he does these little experiments. So let's look at one of these experiments. So he's taking his potions and he's putting it into a beaker and he creates this whirlwind. And as he's creating this whirlwind, my daughter is getting more and more excited. She wants to see more, Mama, because I made that happen, Mama. Let me see more. So I said, of course, and I'm getting as excited as she is. So in order to get more potions, what I have to do is either pay or watch an ad. It's free. I'm Asian, so I watch an ad, right? It's a safe place. So the first ad the algorithm serves me is one for Frozen. Of course it is. And that's fine. And we continue in our comfort and certainty, playing with potions, and we watch more ads. And some of the ads are odd, and some of them are utterly boring. Others are like Frozen, Lego, for example. But then what I start seeing is ads like this appearing. Ads for games of people shooting other tanks, for mass killing, and for drawing weapons that you use to hurt a being. After my initial outrage and frankly shock, I grabbed the phone from her, and I started to watch these ads away from her just so I could build up the potions so she could continue to create those whirlwinds. That was okay, right? Because she can't see the ads, so I'm not doing any harm, surely. What had happened there, by me choosing Talking Ben, I allowed an algorithm to manipulate my values. I've just let my little girl play with something that's potentially really, really dangerous. This manipulation by algorithms and the companies that build them is happening on massive scale. This is, in effect, the mass automation of human choice, reducing human agency. I let technology into our lives because I need certainty. I need certainty as a mama that I'm doing the right thing and what I'm doing is socially acceptable. But I do begin to wonder whether this certainty is confiscating my curiosity and my critical thinking. To be able to create choice makes us human. It sets us apart from all the other animals on the planet. And therefore, we should be nurturing the ability to make choices from when they're young. We mustn't let normalization of things like war games in baby apps allow us to change our values. We mustn't let automation pick the easiest choice. No. We must nurture self-determination in ourselves and our children. Last night, I made a promise to my baby. I said to her as she was falling to sleep, I'm going to ask every parent in the world to make a change. I'm going to ask them to make choices with critical thinking and curiosity. I'm going to ask them to step out of their comfort zone into uncertainty. I'm going to ask them to select options, the easy ones and the not so obvious ones. Share them with their little ones and then let them decide. And whatever they decide, empathize with their decision. And let them fall, because they will. But finally and most importantly, fill them with the confidence that actually curiosity and critical thinking are far more important than comfortable certainty. I believe that self-determination is the greatest gift we can give our children. So let's make that happen together.